Hello and welcome to Simple French Cooking. My name is Francois. You know, fall weather has come to Vermont. We had our first light frost last night. I'm out here in my garden just picking a bunch of peppers and tomatoes, and I was thinking what would be the perfect dish that combined all of these elements. And I came up with the idea to make a Pebronata. So Pebronata is a Corsican stew traditionally made with goat meat, but they also make it with pork and beef, veal. Today I'm going to be making it with some pork from a local farm, Birch Knot Farm. Excellent pork if you live here in Vermont. At any rate, join me in the kitchen as I teach you how to make a Pebronata. All right, we're back in the kitchen now and it's time to cook. But before we do that, let's just take a look at what we got here. So I got these beautiful peppers that I picked. I mean, yellow, red, green. I picked a bunch of herbs. Now, peppers, onions, tomatoes, slow cooked pork. I'm thinking I gotta have some rosemary in there. And then I picked some of my summer savory. I got some parsley, thyme, and then oh my God, some of the last of my summer basil. Some garlic. I picked these were the last 3 onions I had in my garden, and then I had a bunch of San Marzano tomatoes. So let's get cooking. Cooking Pebronata happens in 3 stages. You cook your meat, you cook your tomatoes, and you cook your peppers. All right, time to do our mise en place. So let's start out by seasoning up our meat, a little bit of salt, some herbs de Provence. Well, maybe a lot of salt, but I love Espelette peppers. Now that's not classic to Corsican cuisine, but nonetheless, I'm putting it on. It's my Pebronata. I can make it whatever way I want. If you don't like Espelette, just simply leave it off. And then a little bit of black pepper grated over the top. You know, I like the combination of both the Espelettes, which are sweet and smoky, plus the peppers. Now I like to massage it into the meat, all the seasonings. Now let's just put that aside while we start getting everything else ready. Take your plum tomatoes, cut them into juliennes. Don't be too exacting. You know, if you want it to be fancy, you could also peel your tomatoes first. And then we are going to julienne our onions as well. So just peel off the tops. You know, I always peel the outer layer off too. And I like to put that right into my stock bucket that's in my freezer. Anyway, just slice them up real quick. Don't have to be too perfect here. Go whatever pace you feel comfortable going. All right, all right. Now let's just get some garlic smashed and then sliced. You know, once again, you could chop it fine if you wanted to. I like big pieces of garlic in my food. I love to taste garlic. So just peel them all and then slice them roughly, coarsely. This is rustic cuisine at your house. We're not trying to be an upscale restaurant. Same thing now. We're gonna take all of our peppers and just roughly julienne them all. Just do it quickly. Don't spend too much time on this stuff. You know, the longest part of this dish is going to be the actual cooking that you do nothing but sit back, drink a glass of wine, and enjoy the fine smells in your house. Alrighty, now just take whatever herbs that you decided, cut a piece of string, because we're just gonna tie up the herbs. Like I said, I have summer savory, thyme, parsley, and then a little bit of rosemary. You could throw in a couple bay leaves if you had them as well, but don't kill yourself over this stage either. All right, now let's deal with the pork. This is step 1. So we're just gonna put a little oil in a pan, get it nice and smoking hot, and then you just wanna brown all your pork cubes. You know, depending how big your pan is, I did mine in 2 stages, but then I have a pretty giant saute pan here. And just let it cook slowly. You know, if you have to do this in 3 batches, do it in 3 batches. It really doesn't matter. Just take your time. You know, once you get the pork pieces in the pan, just let them cook a little bit more until they get nice and brown on all sides. And then you're just gonna dump it into a Dutch oven. Make sure you have a nice big Dutch oven for it all. And once you get all that pork out, then you can put in the next pieces right in the same pan. And we're just gonna do the same thing again, get them nice and brown. All we're looking for is a good sear on the outside. Give it some color. All right, don't forget to throw your herbs into the pot with the pork. That's just gonna braise together. All right, same deal. You're gonna take your pork cubes when they're brown, throw them on top of the other ones and the herbs. Then we're gonna add a big spoonful of flour into the pan. If you're gluten-free, just simply leave the flour out. All it does is give the sauce a little bit of body, but it won't be the end of the world if you don't have it. All right, and just make sure when you put the flour in the pan that you kind of rub it into the pan, get up all the fat, soak it up. You're making kind of like a roux. I didn't really cook it much without anything, just more to soak up all the fat. And then we're gonna add a full bottle of wine. Now I switched over to a whisk because I wanted to just get all the lumps out, but I always strain the juices here over the pork because there might be some little chunks, and you know, I just want my sauce to be a little bit cleaner, but honestly, it really doesn't matter. Like I said, this is home cooking, this is not restaurant cooking. Nobody's gonna give you a terrible Yelp review if you have like little floating bits of pork in your sauce. And plus, by the time you add the tomatoes and peppers, to be honest, you're probably not even gonna notice that as well. So just whisk it up till it's nice and smooth. Then we're gonna bring it to a boil, and you're gonna notice it's gonna thicken up quite a bit. Oh, the smells in my house were incredible. Now look at that, look how thick it is. I'm gonna add just a little bit of veal stock. If you don't have veal stock, you could use chicken stock or even water. Alrighty here, and then we're just straining it through just a fine mesh strain or whatever you got. And just, if you notice the little chunks in there that came out. Now bring it to a boil, cover it up. Then we're gonna pop this into 350-degree oven and cook it for about 2 hours. If you have two pans, I recommend doing these next two steps at the same time. In one pan, we're gonna make our tomato sauce. So we're going to saute our onions and garlic, and you just wanna cook them for about 5 to 10 minutes or until they're soft. And I like to season them up in the beginning. Alrighty. And then in our second pan, we're gonna saute our peppers. So same thing, you're gonna put a little bit of olive oil in there, drop your peppers in, and you just wanna cook them over medium-high heat until they are nice and tender. And don't forget to season them. You wanna make sure you keep stirring your onions and garlic because you don't want the garlic to burn and give your Pebronata a bitter taste. All right, so once the onions are soft, add your julienne tomatoes. And now we're just gonna let this cook. You know, I had a couple there that didn't look so pretty, so I decided to throw those away. Definitely not part of the process. All right, and once the tomatoes have cooked down, it's about 20 minutes or so, add your sauteed peppers and just mix it up. I just pulled the pork out of the oven. It's been cooking for about 2 hours. Now I cut my pork chunks a little on the big side, so ooh, that might be why, but oh my God, did you see that? That cloud of steam enveloped me. Here I am with my, unfortunately, signature drooling. Let's just give this a little taste. Oh my God. This is so incredible. So right now, this is just the pork. All right, let's add the Pebronata to this. And then we're gonna let this cook about 10 minutes, and then it's ready to go. You know, but like all great stews, you should make the Pebronata a day before, 2 days before, and then eat it again. Stews just get better with time, kinda like me. All right, wow. Oh my God. This is such a beautiful dish. You know, when you serve this, you should serve it with a really big red. You know, something rustic, not too refined. Would work really well with, I think, even a Zinfandel. But it would work really well with a Cabernet. God, look at this. All right, so I'm gonna put this back on the stove. I'm gonna let it simmer for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, just to get all the flavors marrying together really well, and then it's ready to roll. Alrighty, time to eat the Pebronata. Oh my God, I'm so hungry. So classically, you know, things like pasta, any shape, tossed in butter, potatoes, mashed potatoes, you know, anything starchy, rice, all these things are great accompaniments to Pebronata. Tonight I'm doing some gnocchi, it's my son's favorite. So I'm just doing a little gnocchi tossed in butter, a little bit of Parmesan. Oh my God, look at this, and look how colorful that is. We're just gonna put a little Pebronata on the plate. Let me get another giant piece of pork here. Whoop. There's a little piece of herb. All right. Make it a little parsley to make it nice and colorful. And I'm just gonna put some of the Pebronata, or then I'm just gonna put some of the gnocchi in the center. Anyways. Thank you so much for watching Simple French Cooking. I hope you enjoyed this dish. It's the perfect fall stew to make. You can make it with anything, beef, veal, lamb. I mean, I suppose you could even make it with chicken. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. And please, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. It helps my algorithm. Please like the video as well. Listen, I have about 120 more subscribers until I hit that magic number of 1,000 subscribers. So please subscribe. And if you can, subscribe twice. I'm just kidding there. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. Take care.